100% fake free. This is the Robbie Kruse show and we're live from my garage. And famous people are gonna sit right there. Nice.
90% of all single-use plastic goes to landfill or ends up in our oceans. Unsmother nature. Let her breathe.
Aces. Welcome to the Robbie Kruse show. Our second guest, Brandon Stone. He needs no introduction. He's a legend. He's won everything. He's won his national championship. He's won other countries' national championships because that's how he rolls. Last time I spoke to you was basically just about golf, and it was during lockdown. How are you, my friend?
We're on, bro. We're working again. We're traveling the world again, although with a lot of restrictions and a lot of hoops to jump through. But it's nice to just be back.
Hoops to jump through. That's currently what you're busy with. You came to the show from a visa meeting. You're trying to get to the US. Go win some
yeah. So obviously we got the year off to a good start and managed to get an invitation to a WGC event in America. It's obviously just after my US visa expired last year in November, having had it for the last 10 years. And now,
like that.
Exactly. And then with Mr. President or President Biden coming into power, he shut the borders between South Africa because we have this apparently limited edition South African variant of COVID-19. Only found here. And so we've been jumping through hoops and the Sunshine Tour, Thomas App, the Minister of Sport. Everyone's been trying to get me just an appointment with the US Embassy. And after 2 weeks of groveling, I managed to get in there at 9 o'clock this morning, and now we just don't know whether it's coming through today, tomorrow, or so I might be showing up at a World Golf Championship on a Thursday morning and teeing it up in the afternoon. We don't quite know just yet.
How does it feel like actually getting an invite? I mean, okay, you get invites to a lot of different tournaments, but getting an invite to that is a possibility I'm not going to play this. I mean, as a lighty going, if I played a WGC, like it's world champion, you know?
I think if it wasn't for the last year of COVID where you've been uncertain and you don't know what's happening, and I mock my mates mock me at the moment because I say I live in 6 hour increments because everything's changing every 6 hours. Whether I'm going here, going there, the schedule changes on a daily basis. And if it wasn't for the last year of practice with the whole COVID situation, I think I would not be reacting as calmly and as well put together as I am at the moment. But like you say, at the same time, it's a World Golf Championship. It's in America. It's an opportunity to play amongst the best in the world and potentially earn playing rights to play on the PGA Tour. So you kind of got to weigh up all the options, but trying to remain sane, trying to keep it together, and trying to just play some golf with my mates and kind of distract myself. So it's
which you are doing. It's something, I mean, it's weird, but a lot of golf, like people think, oh, my golf, I mean, you play so much golf when you're off. You actually love it so much, you do. You and your mates are out in the course often.
I prefer social golf than actual professional golf, if I'm brutally honest, because in professional...
And not for drinking.
No, not at all, not at all.
Not even,
The fact is, I can't give the guys that I'm playing with any shit when I'm on the golf course. Whereas when I'm playing with my mates, I can do some proper mental warfare and, you know, develop some proper heebie-jeebies with my boys out on the golf course, which is kind of quite nice because it just makes me feel a little bit better.
And also your caddy, I need to speak about him.
Yeah.
It seems like you Oaks have got this great bromance. Like I'm all about that. You got to have that. And it seems as if you're way more comfortable out on the course, like you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Is it because you guys are great mates?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Tegan and I, we've been mates for so long, and he actually worked with me when I won the Scottish Open. Okay. And after that season where we had a really good year, I kind of sat him down and I said to him, listen, bro, because his dream was to be a professional golfer. And I kind of had to weigh up, as a mate, I want him to live his dream. I want him to have this opportunity to play because it's what he's dreamt of since he was a kid. But from a business perspective, I know he's the perfect caddy for me and I know that I need to have him on my bag. So I sat him down and I said, listen,
this is a tough catch-22.
This is the catch-22 that I'm in. So I gave him 2 weeks. I said, take 2 weeks, think about it, because I don't want to be the bad guy.
And grew in our extremes.
Exactly. Yeah. So 2 weeks later he came to me, he's like, listen, he wants to go try and make it on the tour again. So I said, bro, 100%, you have my blessing. If you need anything, let me know. So perfect. And he went and he tried for 2 years, and unfortunately it didn't work out. And as the stars would have it, my bag became available towards the end of last year. I said to him, listen, bro, do you want to do the last 4 events, the SA Open, Leopard Creek, Joburg Open, and Dubai Grand Final with me? He's like, perfect. did those 4 events and it was like we hadn't skipped a beat. So I found myself 2 years later having the same discussion with, listen, bro, you know, as a mate, I've got this, and as a professional, I have this. I need you to make a decision. And luckily, 2 days later, he came back to me and said, you'd like to do it full time.
Oh, that's great.
And yeah, off we go. He's actually been in Florida for the last 2 weeks waiting for me.
He's over there.
Yeah, he's been doing Universal Studios, you know, Key West, and having a nice break with him and Gavin, my trainer.
And the boss is here.
The boss is stuck in South Africa trying to go, okay, cool, well, boys, you're either going for a 2-week unpaid vacation right now, or I'm getting over there, we can actually make some cash. So yeah, they living the dream too.
You enjoying that Land Rover Defender at the moment. I saw you posting about that. But you guys, you and Tegan headed down to the coast when you were here. I know Durban Country Club, Mount Edgecombe, those places are close to your heart as well. You and your dad played there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so
recently. My
parents are actually at Mount Edgecombe. My mother's the CEO.
And Kevin Stone, who he competes against, his dad.
Yeah, don't beat.
Yeah, don't beat.
Yeah, just compete against. And my mother's the CEO, my father's director of golf. So by definition, my father works for my mother. Which is just a normal family dynamic. It's a normal family dynamic, how it's been for the last 27 years of my existence. And yeah, I love Durban. I mean, I don't get down there as much as I would like, but the old lady being Durban Country Club and Mount Edgecombe is obviously fantastic. But then you've also got courses like Simbiti that are, I mean, more often than not during the December break, I'll go down there, my dad and I will tee off at 7 o'clock at Simbiti and be having breakfast with the family around 9:30. And it's just unique in that regard. But yeah, it's listen, your heart will always bleed South Africa. So whether it be Leopard Creek that's in the Kruger, whether it be the Joburg SA Open up here in Gauteng, or whether it be down in Durban, it always feels different. It's nice to come home.
And it is, and that's to me what makes you not plastic. Like I feel you got a good attitude. You're cocky to the right degree, but you have to be. In this game, you really have to be. Do you feel that's ever bitten you in the foot or not?
Not really. I mean,
as advice, also for a guy watching. I mean, because your tour is not. It's cutthroat, really.
Listen, I mean, golf is an individual sport. I don't have 10 other guys on the field or 14 other guys on the field telling me how good I am. Exactly. If I have a cuck day, there's only one person to blame, and that's me. And there's some positives with it, and there's some negatives with that. But like you say, you have to be so self-confident because no one's going to tell you how good you are. That's just and if you have a rough day, there's only one name on the team sheet that's getting all the grief if you're not performing. And listen, as South Africans, we are very, very cutthroat with our support. We expect the best. We are undoubtedly the most passionate supporters of any sportsman.
Amen.
But at the same time, we expect those guys to perform at the highest regard. And it's both a negative, but at the same time, it's a driving force because you know these expectations. You were that fan. I mean, I remember watching Retief and Ernie competing against best, not trying to figure out how they never won every week because they were so good. And I find myself in somewhat similar shoes at the moment. And yes, there's those expectations. But South African sports fans as a whole, when you do well, are the first to congratulate you, the first to be there, the first to send you social media hype and, get behind you. And there's definitely always those oaks when you do well that claim to have put bets on you with sports betting countries. Thanks so many. I
don't have a lot of money, so I don't gamble. But I say on radio, I say Brandon Stone's going to win this
100%. So you get those, but you get the other side of the coin where they're like, where the guy's like, hey, bro, listen, you cost me $50. Meanwhile, you just lost like 150,000 euros finishing second. You're like, don't worry, bro, I feel your pain. Just multiply it by 100,000.
So you missed a buck.
Can't believe you missed that 3-footer, bro. It cost me $50. I'm like, bro, you only it cost me a little bit more, bro.
Oh no, and growing up heroes, I think it's important for every single person. A lot of people look up to you. I know from our fan following and so on, a lot of people are your fans. That's why they're watching the show today. But why are you, who do you look up to? Who are the people that you say, that's the why I do it? These are the guys that inspire me. You know what, bro? It's so weird because growing up, you always set these idols. You set these people that you look up to, the guys like Ernie, to name one. But you never get to know them on a personal basis, which is so unique. And then, as a professional sportsman, you do that. We do that. And I remember so vividly, I was 17, or 18 actually, and I was going off to the States to go to college. And I remember playing SA Open with a practice round with Ernie, and he was talking about, he's like, listen, bro, if you ever need anything, let me know, because obviously he was based in Florida at the time. So you kind of take it to heart. You're like, I don't feel comfortable. Saw him a few months later, said to him, listen, I'm going to America for
the US amateur and go to college. She's like, listen, here's my address. Give this number a call. Even if I'm not there, this guy will be at the house. Stay at my house, practice at my house before you go to the US tournaments and go and compete and all that. And that was quite refreshing for me because he could have very easily been, hey bro, if you need anything, give me a call and not answer my phone call.
Yeah.
Whereas here, he's following through. Listen, phone this number and quite like hard about it. Like,
and
listen,
it's larger than life, man.
I mean, this
you
is
explain everything else. Being in his presence,
bro,
being like a father figure's presence.
100%. This is an icon. And we're not talking about sports icon. We're talking about a South African icon. I mean, his brand is from wines to soft drinks, Alpha Autism to a 4-time major champion. So he's larger than life in my eyes. But here's this guy pouring me Coke Zero on the ice with a little bit of lemon at his house in Florida. I'm going, well, that's not plastic.
That's real, bro.
That's real, exactly.
And when you say I'm not plastic, like you walked in here, you obviously saw the sign, you saw my cap, whatever. What does when I say I'm not plastic, what does it mean to you? It is what it is.
Bro, it is what it is. Like my whole thing is you need to be genuine. I mean, there's no point me painting the stars on the ceiling and it's all fake. The world is not all sunshines and rainbows. Life of a professional golfer is not all sunshines and rainbows. And if people ask me what's life on tour, be prepared because you're going to get an honest answer. You're going to get the answer that, okay, you're away from your family 30 to 35 weeks a year. Your expenses on the European tour are going to run up into the 7-digit numbers quite comfortably. Everything's funded by yourself. You don't have an organization paying for you. Yes, you get some lovely endorsements, but you don't get them as often as you may think.
And you work for those endorsements.
100%. And I remember the sacrifices growing up through school, not being able to go to parties, not being able to go to social events, hitting golf balls at 5:30 in the morning before school. And when you're sitting with a 14-year-old kid, okay, cool, well, do you hit balls before school? He's like, no, okay, cool, well, you're already losing 2-3 hours. And, you know, it's very harsh, but at the same time, there's a reason why guys like Ernie, guys like Tiger, guys like Louis, guys like Scholl are where they are. It's because they made those sacrifices and they're genuine. And I've tried to be, to the best of my ability, as genuine as I can. And that's why every month when I write for The Complete Golfer, that article is genuine from the heart. That's me sitting in an airport actually going.
This is something I need to ask you. So Brandon obviously writes for Complete Golfer as well, and enjoy your columns thoroughly purely because of the fact that it is slightly tongue-in-cheek to a degree because you're very honest about it. It's like it is how it is. Like, I mean, call a spade. It's tough.
100%.
I'm sitting at an airport with you writing.
Right now, I'm sitting in a hotel room in a bubble because I can't see my mates. I can't go downstairs. I'm like in Dubai this year. We're sitting in this hotel room. I'm sitting on a patio the size of this table, overlooking the JBR, which is a beautiful beach with a Ferris wheel with beautiful restaurants, and you're going, well, I can't do anything. I can't go there, so I'm just going to sit here and write my article now. Room service, what are you going to have? Can I please have your pasta carbonara for the 7th time this week? And so those articles are 90% of the time, I can promise you now, 90% of those articles are written on a plane.
That's cool. That just shows you journalism, bro.
Exactly.
You gotta have a real job to be a journalist.
100%, bro. And now,
pro golfer, that's what you gotta do.
And Annette and I, my wife and I, we were actually just chatting about, because obviously we've got this trip to the States coming up. And last night I printed out the tickets, and I've looked at this and gone, okay, cool. Well, we've got an 8.5 hour flight to Doha, and then I never realized from Doha to Miami is 16 hours and 25 minutes.
So you're traveling for 2 days, really, basically.
And now you're going, there's only so many episodes of How I Met Your Mother and Brooklyn Nine-Nine that you can watch in 16 hours, bro.
When it's done, it's done.
You're like, now what? So we're definitely in the market for a new series, as abstract and as comedic or whatever it may be. But yeah, we've definitely got a long travel ahead of us.
There's another show, you'll enjoy it. I think you and your missus watch it, Another Period. It's like...
Another Period.
It's very like different actors doing cameo roles, and it's so funny.
Okay, definitely give that. I'm gonna have time.
I'm gonna
have time.
When you're stuck, thank me for that, but it's cool. Then I don't want to say next. I want to ask you, what major do you want to win? Like, I know this sounds weird, but for a lot of golfers, and this is a golfing question, so I mean, ladies is one of those things, but there's a lot of ladies as well. What major do you want to win? Like growing up, I mean, there's obviously Dustin Johnson. It's clear that I wanted to win the Masters.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to win. What does Brandon Stone want to win?
You know what? It changes. Growing up, it was definitely Augusta, 100%. You know, watching Tiger just dominated over the years. But the older I've got, the more mature I've got. Listen, I say that I'm 27 at the moment.
But you have to though in your sport. You have to in your profession. It just forces it.
Yeah, 100%.
Not every kid goes and travels at the age of 21.
No, bro. I mean,
sorry, but it's true.
But like, it's slowly gravitating towards the Open, which is very unique for me because if you told me that 4 years ago, I would have laughed at you because I didn't have a clue how to play links golf.
Okay.
But the overall atmosphere at the Open is unlike anything you can ever experience. And if there's one golf tournament, if a golf fan wants to go to one, I know the Masters is special, but it's at the same place every year. Like the Open at Portrush a couple years back was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. This is a town of 10,000 people in the middle of nowhere on a
Everybody's
golf,
there.
and there are 200,000 people there. The most respectful fans, the most organized chaos you've ever seen in your entire life. But what a jewel.
Is it?
And
it's the original. I
Brew,
mean,
it's the OG,
Yeah,
honestly.
it
And
is.
when you come down that 18th hole and that grandstand there, which is 150 yards by 50 yards high on either side, you walk there, there's 10, 20,000 people sitting there and you got goosebumps.
Even me now.
Yeah, bro. I think I made double there during the tournament. I still walked off with a smile. I mean, that's when you know, you're like tipping the hat. Could have been an 8, could have been a 9 or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's just, I think that would be it now. I think sitting where I am now, the Open would be that one that I'm after.
But your golf is feeling good at the moment. You're feeling, I mean, you swing it like you're going to play golf till you're 400 years old. You're like, it's so easy. It's just you don't do anything. You just do this and this. And your demeanor, sorry, carry on. Yeah.
No, yeah, I think, listen, the golf game at the moment it feels nice. It feels like I'm playing some of my best stuff at game. But listen, golf is let's just keep it honest. It's a cruel bitch at the best of times.
True.
I mean, you could feel like you've had it sewn up, but you wipe the shit out of your eyes two days later and
Quickly.
Exactly. So listen, the professional golfers are not like unlike amateur golfers where you find something in the range and you wake up the next morning and you can't remember it. So we just our if you want to call it, our difference between the 2 days is maybe a little bit shorter, but we still have those days. But yeah, just love playing golf at the moment, which is probably the biggest difference from the last few years. Like, still like playing, like I said, social golf with my mates, but I'm quite keen to get back to work, which is the first time I could say that in a long time.
That's good, man, and it's good to be back. Listen, it's good to have you playing good golf. These are incredible. Look at that.
You're probably the only guy I know that could pull those off.
I saw these and I thought to myself, I would definitely order those in the shop. Like, they look amazing. They're very cool. Thank you so much.
No stress.
They're gonna be out on the show we're gonna put them up on the wall here. We'll be playing with them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then this as well. That's your
my
BS.
own little personal marker that we had made.
You're no BS, eh?
No BS,
So
exactly.
no BS. But this is all about your brand. This is what does the foundation, the group, what does Brandon Stone BS stand for?
So
thank you very much, by the way.
No stress. So the reason why this is so sentimental to me is because that kind of signifies the progression of my career. Like you say, I've gone from a young whippersnapper at 19, 20, turning pro, whereas now, kind of evolving in that role. And we set up the foundation this past year because it's kind of a weird one. We kind of had these two avenues. You could go towards, helping golfers out, but I kind of felt like the reason I got to where I was because of an academic point of view. Cornwall Hill College.
On your education.
My mother was cutthroat.
She would never
cut,
punch school.
no chance.
Yeah.
My mother was cutthroat with that. And so we kind of went down the other avenue where we wanted to give opportunities academically. So we set up the Brandon Stone Foundation, which is basically a scholarship program. And the reason for that is because if I never had the academic background that I had at Cornwall Hill College, I wouldn't have gone to college in the States. And if I hadn't gone to college in the States, I wouldn't have had the success and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to play abroad. So it all kind of came back to that base, that foundation, that platform. And we've set up my foundation now to give someone, doesn't have to be 25 people.
A person.
One person. I mean, to change the world, you need to change the world for one person, and you, by definition, are doing that. And that's kind of what we're doing. And obviously with COVID, it's kind of halted things to a point, but at the same time, we are looking for that. And we're setting up the websites, we're setting up all the legal documentation is done now. So now we're looking to get a kickstart, and we're going to have a golf day eventually when COVID can just bugger off, and not to raise cash, not to anything, just to launch the day and to show that, listen, this is what we're after. This is the program, this is what we're doing. Have a lacquer day at the golf course. I'll be there, you'll be there, exactly. Yeah. You'll be there, we'll be having a jolt. We'll be having an absolute jolt, and from there, the sky's the limit.
Amazing. Listen, all the best heading back to America, or heading over to America if that happens, Brandon. Thanks for being here. Pop in when you're in South Africa, please do. We'd love to have you on the show again. But amazing, man. And once again, thanks for these beast kicks, bro. Here we go. You don't have a pair of these because these were specifically made for you. So this I know. Lekker. The Robbie Kruse Show, episode 2. Thanks for watching.
Hi guys, Brandon Stone here, and I am not plastic.
Hi guys, I'm Gugule Tunjarane.
We are Broken Villages. I'm not plastic.
Last week we met the guys from Broken Villages, Mpumelelo and Gugulethu. I got it right again, guys, but good to have you guys back, I must say. Fantastic work that you guys have done over the last couple of weeks. We've been collaborating with them at I'm Not Plastic for a couple of weeks now, a couple of months in actual fact. They've reached out to us, and what we did was we decided to collaborate with them and kind of put a brief in their hands and say, go do what you want, guys. Go buck wild and come back with something and produce some content.
To us, whenever we incorporate an idea or concept, it's on a research thesis kind of basis, and we're all about storytelling, as Gugu has alluded. And so we wanted to educate the audience or other people that are not knowledgeable about the plastic, but incorporating the plastic, but using it in a more editorial, conceptualized kind of a visual narrative. Then we did that. Then Gugu, when we started taking our fast shots, because he's more of a creative director, more of a visual director. But it's
in that regard.
But it's like a collaborative kind of a project. It's not like he does everything.
The one hand washes the other.
So then from there we played around with plastic, and we incorporate plastic and the t-shirts, and it turned out amazing, and we were so shocked, you know what I mean? And we were like, we need to surprise Tashes. And when we pitched everything, he was shocked, you know, and he was like, no guys, let's go on a third collaboration.
Let's do it. And if you want to check out some of the photos, these are actually some of the photos that they've taken. You guys take all of this with your own equipment, with your own stuff.
Yes,
you guys go out, and from script, from storyline through to the end final product, you guys do it.
Yes, we make sure that we get every visual, because of it's a very competitive industry and everyone 100%. Is trying to keep the ball rolling, you know. So it's all about making a difference. So that's how we're making our difference, you know. And if you love what we do, we appreciate it.
And we do. I love what jokes do. So go check out some of their photos. Broken Villages. We look forward to catching up with you guys. But keep doing what you're doing. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cool. Bless.